Hi there, Shutterbugs. So today I'm going to teach you an online lesson here for our photography class. So it seems like we have missed our previous discussion with regards to viewpoint. So I'm going to talk about that today. So the most commonly used viewpoint is standing up with the camera at eye level, at about 1.5 meters above the ground. This gives you a safe, familiar perspective. But that is boring because it is something that everyone always does. So to stand out with photography, you need to start doing things that are out of the ordinary. So when we are looking at an experiment with different viewpoints, you have to note how the subject gain or lose impact and observe the way it changes in relation to its surrounding. So with regards to subject at a distance, you have to try and see if you can include more of the background so that it gives you a focal point to a scene. Then, if you have a subject close up, it fills the frame, and that is a little bit more effective. So you want to then try and fill the frame by cutting out any of the unwanted background. So with regards to me now, in front of your camera, if you look down here, you'll see that the snake's cage is over there. But I need to try and see if I can let's see here, fill the frame. Do you see what I mean? So that the unwanted background behind me is not distracting you. Then raising the camera level so that you cut the horizon also has a very special effect. So when you raise your camera and look down, you are diminishing out, sort of making it smaller, your subject. And when you are lowering your camera, this includes more of the horizon. You're putting emphasis on the size of your subject. Viewpoint and people. The eye level of the subject is not always the eye level of the photographer. An example, like with children or animals, most of the time with them you're taking a photo downwards. Shooting from the subject's eye level make the photograph more intimate. So when you are trying to take a photo of, let's say, your dog or your cat, it's a good idea to bend down and sort of get to the same level of them, on their same eye level. Shooting from low level suggests power. Shooting from high level suggests humbleness. We did the practical in the class, but I don't think I spoke about the topics necessarily. And if I did, it's good to just revise it. Here you can see we have a Zulu warrior that is photographed from below, and that means we are emphasizing that he's got power and stature. So he's quite a strong individual. Then the next one, I'm shooting from a top low level, and this is actually a foot of a rhino, but it sort of diminishes or makes it smaller, or seem smaller, that this is actually a very large foot that's now made to look small. Here we can see hippos. They are massive animals, but because of the fact that I took the photo from a top angle, makes them almost tiny. Right, so that's the first topic that I wanted to speak to you guys about. And then the next topic is, I just want to go back here and look at it, is viewpoint. So we've sort of talked on viewpoint as well, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to then skip this one and go to background and the subject. So the background must never overwhelm the subject, but it can make the picture more interesting. What is behind your subject must never distract you from looking at your subject. Okay, so before taking a picture, you need to sit and study your background. Does it give the picture depth? Does it enhance the subject? Is it distracting? Does it put the subject in context with its environment? And can you use it creatively to emphasize a subject's color into your shape? Putting a subject in contrast environment can bring a surprise element into your picture, like an old lady at a rave club. Now guys, remember this was for your homework, so I'm just quickly quickly going over this topic again before we are going to look at your homework on the WhatsApp group. So just want to quickly touch on the T, C, and L factors: trees, colors, and lights, things showing out of someone's head, colors bright and colorful, and then light, strong light sources distract from the eye. Alright, so I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your amazing photographs that you've taken. So please share that on the WhatsApp group now. When you watch this video and you get to about 5.5 minutes in, remember this is your background and subject. Okay, moving on. Then we have something called foreground. Now, another way to create depth and to place the subject in context with its environment is in the use of foreground. That area of the picture closest to the camera. What is in front of your subject must never distract you from looking at your subject. So let's have a look and see. So for today's lesson, your aim is still to make the subject draw attention first. The good use of the foreground can create a sense of depth, give the impression of a scene you can walk into, draw the eye to the subject, develop an overall theme, give you a sense of scale, or it can also help to frame your subject. By including an element close to the camera, this makes the picture start at your feet and drawing you then into the image. Portrait format and the use of a wide-angle lens, they are always a good way to include more of your foreground, especially a nice wide-angle lens. So putting foregrounds to use by including foreground objects, that gives you sort of clues to the subject. Example, a baker behind a bunch of bread rolls in front of him. Using shadows, sometimes a well-placed shadow can help fill your foreground, balancing other shapes in the picture. Filling in and framing, including a simple shape close to the camera can help draw attention to the main subject. For example, shooting through an out of focus gate towards a building can sort of give you an idea of, okay, we're moving towards the building. So this is the entry gate, we're moving towards the building. This is again a good one. Do you see the foreground here is out of focus, relaxed environment of a tourist. Yes, he's cut in half, but that's not our subject. Our subject is the hippo. Okay, now this gives us a sense of, oh, this is a nice holiday feeling. You can see the line going from the hippo to the feet and to the person's phone. So you can imagine he's also sitting there taking a nice photograph of the hippos. Here we have a nice frame. The foreground is framing our subject, which is the baboon here. And that's it. Now, I want you guys for today's lesson, and I'm making it quite short and sweet because remember, with our lessons, we are doing a lot of discussion and sharing of photos, and then I sent you guys out to do some practical. So for next week's lesson, I want you guys to take photos where your foreground is telling you more about your subject. Just like the example with a baker has got bread rolls in front of it, I want you to have a clue of a foreground telling me what is my subject about. Okay, there's your lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. I did a little bit of revision work of the 2 previous lessons, but I think it's necessary that you guys please don't stop taking photos and share your photos on the WhatsApp group. I am going to check the WhatsApp group more often and regularly now. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.